The South-South partner on the Youth Electoral Reform Project, YEP Nigeria, in press conference has expressed deep concern over the Senate rejection of the Electoral Act amendment proposal seeking the mandatory transmission of election results in real time. Addressing journalists in Benin City, the Executive Director of Concerned Advocacy, Comrade Prince Israel Oreka, who emphasized that real-time electronic transmission of election results remains a critical reform needed to safeguard electoral integrity and restore public confidence in democratic institutions, said retaining the existing provision of Electoral Act, which states that the presiding officer shall transfer the results, including the total number of accredited voters and the results of the ballot, in a manner as prescribed by the Commission, is a derailment on Nigeria's democracy.
The proposal to amend the Electoral Act to ensure mandatory transmission of election results in real time is the most desired and supported electoral reform issued by youth and the citizens in the South-South geopolitical zone and Nigeria at large. We know this firsthand because the YEP Nigeria campaign consulted in all 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory FCT through survey and face-to-face engagement, and attended all the public hearings for the Joint National Assembly Committee on Electoral Matters and the Senate House of Reps Constitutional Review Committee. The Nigerian youth and other citizens spoke out during all these fora in a clear and unmistakable terms, saying, "Give us mandatory electronic transmission of election results in real time to restore public confidence in the electoral process."
On her part, Precious Chinenye Patrick Bosse, Program Director, Connected Advocacy, who also criticized the Senate's action, said Connected Advocacy as a youth-led civic organization committed to advancing inclusive governance, transparency, and youth participation in public decision-making across Nigeria will continue to advocate for accountability and transparency in the country's electoral systems to engender good governance.
Empowerment and Youth Development Initiative is a youth-led civic organization committed to advancing inclusive governance, transparency, and youth participation in public decision-making across Nigeria. Established to bridge the gap between citizens, particularly young people, and public institutions, Connected Advocacy works at the intersection of policy advocacy, civic education, accountability, and youth leadership development.
Also speaking, a YEP Nigeria volunteer, Umukoro Elo Victory, said YEP Nigeria, as coalition of youth-focused non-governmental organizations, will not be distracted but remain focused in engaging with a diverse group of youth people to identify and advocate for specific electoral reform recommendations, maintaining that the actions of the Senate is only a reminder that the national democracy has a long way to go and it requires all hands to be on deck to change the narratives.
YEP Nigeria is a coalition of youth-focused non-governmental organizations that is engaging with a diverse group of young people to identify and advocate for specific electoral reform recommendations. The consortium has partner organizations in Nigeria, 6 geopolitical zones, and youth networks across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory.
Meanwhile, the Senate has dismissed reports claiming that it rejected the electronic transmission of election results during considerations of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The clarification came from Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio shortly after the upper chamber has passed the bill following a marathon section that lasted about 4.5 hours without consideration of the contagious amendments to Clause 60, subsection 3 of the Electoral Act. From Benin, Happy Raymond, Broad TV News.